going on, champions? This is me, Lennon, aka Buzzkill.
It is Lance Excalibur.
Today we are doing the communion.
What is this? Like,
this is a deleted scene from Batman v Superman that Warner Brothers just released, and it's, I guess, supposed to be, you know, shedding some light on, like, you know, some plot points within the movie. That
a deleted scene from the movie from Batman v Superman.
Dude, this shit never happens.
Okay.
This never happens, that a movie is so controversial, people are so torn, that the studio has to, like, throw some more scenes at us just to appease the, you know, some of us that didn't particularly like the film.
Let's watch it.
Let's go ahead and watch it. And from this, we're going straight into the spoilers.
All right,
Spoiler talk.
all right, hold up. I mean, let's do it. Let me turn it up. Let me turn it up a little bit, just a little bit.
Let's see.
Bow. All right, hold on. Let's go. What, are they in the sewer?
I have no idea. No, that's got to be the ship.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, that's the ship. No, ain't nothing. Yeah. What the fuck?
What the actual fuck? Wait,
lost
what?
like hell.
What the
What the fuck?
Can I run that back? Let me run
got to.
Let me run that back. So we know they on the ship. I don't, you know, okay, so the military dudes coming through there.
So that's LexCorp.
That's Lex. This is inside the ship. This is
yeah.
This is inside the ship.
Pause that shit.
Wait,
Pause
what is this? All right, wait.
What is going on?
Is this like some Final Fantasy boss type shit? What the fuck is this?
I don't know who he is. The damn cubes look like mother boxes. If nothing
Those
else.
do look like mother boxes. They do look like a mother box.
That's not a dark side that I recognize in any rendition of his character at all. So I'm lost as to who the fuck he's supposed to be. But those look like mother boxes. Now, at the same time, what the fuck is...
And that's Lex Luthor in the center.
Right. What is he standing in? Like, I mean, I understand it's supposed to be communion or whatever, you know, communion like church, but is that blood he's in? And whose blood?
I think
is
that's
this prior to
like Zod being put together. Remember, he was being affected in the thing, doing this in the thing. You remember?
Yeah.
So maybe that's Zod, like, freaking parts being... I don't know what that... What is that?
I don't get this entire...
What is this supposed to be?
This entire setup. I don't understand the whole backdrop.
Well, you know, remember he jumped into the water and you know, and the computer automatically gave him ownership of everything, which doesn't make sense because Lois Lane, when she tried to go in Superman ship, she almost got killed.
True.
But okay, so he's in the water, and now all of a sudden you got a World of Warcraft boss standing above him,
right,
about to give.
He looks badass.
I mean, he does look badass, but he don't make sense.
No,
he don't make.
One more thing that
if anything, this makes me more upset about the movie not making sense because I'm glad it didn't put this in the movie because I would have been like,
we would have all been like, what the fuck? We already
Oh.
had the one scene, and it turns out it was Flash, not Cyborg, that went back in time. That was
Flash.
That was Flash.
Okay, you know what? We gotta talk about this. Wait, let me finish. Let me see if we see.
This makes no sense. No sense.
I don't care.
We can't watch that again. I don't know. This entirely just threw me. I didn't know what to expect. I thought this was gonna shed some light,
right,
on like, you know, bridge the gap between plot points in some type of, you know, retrospect. This only adds to the confusion. I'm glad this was not in the movie. I don't even understand the purpose of releasing this.
Okay, you know what?
To the public.
Let's talk about the actual movie now, because because we did a non-spoiler review, you know, and we didn't like it. And actually thinking about it even more so, I don't like it even more so.
Yeah, thinking about it, breaking it down.
And I'm gonna break it down from so let's start from the very beginning. Bruce Wayne when he was driving. Where was Bruce Wayne going driving through the city?
Sense.
You know, like he was driving like he was Batman going to save the day. But when he got to wherever he was trying to get, all he did was make a phone call to his building. He could have made a phone call from home saying, "Y'all get out the building."
See,
you know what I'm saying?
What doesn't make sense to me is, okay, I understand everybody's point of, oh, he's Batman, he's gonna run into the face of danger. Oh, he's running to Wayne Tower to try to get people out.
He didn't run in there. He just.
But that's what that's the argument. He's trying to go save people.
Right. All right, my bad. We ran out of footage. All right, so so wait, what were we saying? Batman run through the city.
Okay, so the argument is Batman is running towards, he's running to the face of danger. He's trying to save as many people as possible in Wayne Tower. It doesn't make sense within the confines of what we, the viewers, understand about Man of Steel and what him as Bruce Wayne can gather in the heat of the moment.
Right.
That's it's all fine and well if that's like a terrorist attack or some kind of bombing going on. Okay, we're dealing with alien technology.
The alien technology.
And everything around him is coming down. At any moment, Batman could have been killed long before he actually got to Wayne Tower.
Right.
And that's something that we knew, and that's something that he clearly sees going on. I mean, the man is dodging planes and he's dodging all stuff.
Exactly,
It doesn't make, I understand they're trying to make it action-packed and give Batman something
and that's the only reason. And that's why I don't like it. They try to just feed us action-packed stuff to make us go ooh and ah. And most of this movie is a ooh and ah movie. Don't get me wrong. Beautifully shot.
You got it,
acting was on point. Everything. But they edited, first off, the editing was horrible. And it was a bunch of, once y'all scream and say ooh for this, oh, look at Flash, he showed up in the past, but it was a dream, Bob, we got you though. And it was just like a whole bunch of like ooh and ah stuff. And that was one of those moments where they're just trying to entertain us in the beginning, but it made no actual sense. And I feel like
it doesn't.
They insulted our adulthood, man.
And from what I'm a Superman fan, but I can respect Batman. I don't think Batman would have did
exactly,
because there's he's all about making the smart move, is not being all super emotional about at any time. Now, understand that's at any time. Batman is Batman even when he's not dressed up in the cape and cowl.
And they did a good job of portraying
strategic.
that. Right. But they did a good job portraying that, his alter ego is Bruce Wayne in this movie. I felt that.
And I like that, but at the same time, that did not make sense to any degree.
No sense.
For what he was trying, like, what did he expect to
And then he flew in from a helicopter, got into a car, and
it
then
would
went
have
to
made more
the street.
sense to just go get the people from the building.
Like, land on the building, get the people, and but he flew down, then got in the car, then drove through the city, you know what I'm saying, to make a phone call.
Exactly. But at the same time, it doesn't make sense.
The only justifiable reason is that he saved that girl right before the thing fell on him, but he didn't know that girl was there. He didn't go over there for that girl. So it was just like
plot, man. That's straight plot no
jutsu. Plot no jutsu. He's Sasuke. That was a Sasuke moment, and we're just gonna make him look good. You know what I'm saying, for the sake of looking good. But
let's talk about the overall motivations in this movie. No one really had real motivations. Even the major plot point of making this like a political type of movie. Where do we stand with Superman? How do we feel about Superman? Do we need this godlike figure to come save us from ourselves? Whatever. But then it's like this whole issue that goes down in Africa in the very beginning, where like the rebels are, they turn on everybody in the village. Yeah. But here's the thing: those people were dead before Superman got there, dead by gunshot wounds, and bombs and explosions. Right. Anyone with any forensic type of knowledge can see that Superman didn't kill none of that. One guy he took through the wall. Okay, cool.
I ain't gonna lie, he probably
didn't massacre this whole
yeah. But but what I can say is and this is why I that part didn't bother me as much, is because that's the same thing as saying thanks Obama for every little thing that happens. Something happens, thanks Obama. Obama had nothing to do with that. But y'all needed somebody to blame. And I ain't gonna lie, Superman being an alien with godlike powers, thanks Superman. I can just see that happening. Yeah. So this is one of those things where I as a country and as a world, we love to blame something on something else, when it clearly was us just being stupid. Clearly they had guns out there trying to harass people. When I ain't gonna lie, if there's a man running around flying at the speed of light, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, I'm stopping my crime. My crime is done. All right, I'm putting the gun down, but people still trying to be crime lords. What you expect? So it's like, don't blame Superman for this dumb stuff. So I don't know. That's just, to me, just the equivalent of thanks Obama. It's just put Superman in that place. That's what it was in this movie.
Let's talk about Granny's peach tea though. Between the whole intro with Batman and then the whole intro with Superman in Africa, the movie's extremely slow and everything else that it's trying to do. We get some bits of Lex Luthor, some bits of Lois Lane, which are They don't do anything for the storyline.
Right.
Neither one of those characters at that point in the movie did anything.
And you know what? And
I would progress anything.
I would have enjoyed the fact that it was extremely slow. If they build up to something, and the only thing they built up to was the granny's teeth,
and they didn't even finish.
They didn't even finish that. And it's like, but none of the dialogue felt like it connected. No. It felt like they were just giving bits and pieces of what they thought we wanted to hear, and then but never really connecting stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the whole Granny Peach tea, in my opinion, that was the single greatest moment in the film. Never mind the fight with Zod, because all that other stuff, like, they didn't actually build up to that.
Yeah.
The rest of that stuff just kind of happens, especially the whole Doomsday thing at the end.
Okay.
Even the fight with Batman v Superman, that was nothing like what it actually should have been and could have been.
Right.
Just based on the movie that we got. They don't actually, truly disagree on anything outside of the surface, reasons behind what they do and how they do it.
Right.
They get that one interaction, which I have my own, grips and gripes about that whole thing. But the Granny speech thing was the only thing that they actually truly took 45 minutes to build up to.
But
and
even,
then it was such a satisfying ending.
But you know what? It was, but even that kind of felt
ending.
It felt empty to me a little bit. Only because that was one of the moments I was anticipating for Superman to address the world and the government to say, this is why I'm doing it, to give some kind of epic motivational speech about who he is and who he's looking for the people to be. This was a perfect opportunity for Superman to share to the world, like, I'm not your Jesus Christ, but I am a representation of what someone with absolute power can still humble themselves to do.
In the movies, I was expecting that. And in the movie, I'm taking it for what it is, what they're giving me. So, okay, the whole everything blows up to hell.
Right.
I was expecting that speech after it happened. Not Superman to go into hiding.
Right.
I wanted him to address what happened.
He kind of became a bitch a little bit.
And it was kind of like, really? And then he has the one little dialogue moment with Lois, and that's the last we ever hear about how do we feel about Superman.
Okay, to rewind it back a little bit, even with the whole Granny sweet tea, whatever you call it, like as she was looking at it, she was all scared and bumbling her words. That part didn't even make sense to me. Like at least have her, because she felt like she lost, like she forgot her lines, or it didn't feel genuine. Like, oh shit, something about to happen.
I'm gonna tell you, if her, quote unquote, forgetting the lines, that pause that kind of makes her do the double take. If that's the smell of piss coming from the jar, everybody up on that panel would have been like,
"What?
You smell this big ass jar of piss that's just sitting here?" And that shit was yellow, so it had a strong ass. So it couldn't have been just her that would have smelled it. I think that should have been. That could have been better.
Her fear didn't.
It was a sweet little moment.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, and and to have Superman in a courtroom with you. If I was her and I really was afraid for my life in that moment to make you stutter, I would say, Superman, we need help with something. Say something. But she didn't say. She just sat there and quietly stuttering. Like you got a man that got the powers of God, who people mistaken as God right now. Yeah. Stand in your courtroom. Like say something. Like clearly he can do something about it.
I mean, at the same time, how about Superman? For everything we know about the character, would have heard that bomb go off in a courtroom that is exactly silent. Because it's just that one lady talking. Superman would have heard that ticking, the little mechanisms.
The Superman we know would have done something. I'm just saying they're trying to make this a little bit more realistic. They're trying to, and I get they needed to create that drama, which was a good drama. Like I felt like
the thing is, it did not pay off. It didn't pay off, and there was no type of reward for what we sat through during the build.
Because after everything was done, it's almost like it never happened again.
It is.
He got sad a little bit and kind of went off, but then you never heard anything about it. You never heard the people say, you need to answer for this. And it was just done, and then all of a sudden we go into some drama with freaking Bizarro / which he should have been Bizarro. I don't even understand why he's fighting Doomsday right now.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the actual real problem with the movie. Not just the editing.
Which I think is the editing. Like that.
But I mean, it goes deeper in the sense that there are so many missed opportunities in the movie. It's like they had all the pieces right here in their hands.
Yeah, they had a perfect puzzle.
But they never really put them together the way they should have been put together.
Never put them together, man.
And some of that's editing, and some of it is just plain old storytelling. Like, a lot of these things that they did just never felt... it's like every time it was never boring. I was never bored during the movie. But it was just like, that could have been better. that could have been better. It was like
It was too much
we watch
of that.
Marvel,
Yeah.
and you know we watch a Marvel movie, and it's like, dude, it gave us just the right amount of satisfaction.
Right.
Like across the board,
Across
it got
the board.
it got the minimum for all of us to go like, you know what, that shit was fucking awesome.
I
That
can't
was
say this
fucking
though.
awesome.
If I have to play devil's advocate, I can't say that this movie has so much expectation, that has so much hype, it has so many like trailers that you expected.
But see,
here
on
and
the
you
flip
got
side, we all had expectations, and if you watch our state of mind video, you know I didn't. My expectations were way up here, and I refused to lower them.
Yes,
and I wasn't the only one. I know there's a lot of us. But here's the thing: as high as those expectations were, we all knew the hype was a beast in and of itself.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, they had.
Dude,
a
Star
very
Wars met
small
the hype.
task.
You can meet the hype. Star Wars met the hype. You can.
Star Wars met the hype. Star Wars, okay, you can't meet the hype, but Star Wars gave us that bare minimum that we seem to get with every Marvel movie, to where it's like you can't please everybody. That shit is impossible. But you can get enough things right in the movie.
But
I think
that's what they try to do. I think they try to please everybody. They try to please.
Can't do that.
They try to please everybody by giving Batman like they you know what, that Omega scene where it was like, you know, and
that's the stupid shit I'm talking about. That has nothing to do with anything.
When did Batman become a psychic sage that he can see the freaking future in the past? You know what I'm saying? In his dreams, I can see if Flash came back in the physical world and like, yo, you need to do
that.
This.
Would have been much better.
That would have been.
That would have been not some fucking dream sequence.
It was a dream sequence.
So it has zero merit on anything.
So
it makes
zero.
Batman's line at the end completely fucking stupid.
Yeah, it did.
You know, and then it just throws all of us watching the movie off because we're like, what was the point of this?
Remember that was the reason why he went so hardcore toward Superman, because he was like, after he saw those dream sequences, he's like, I gotta do something to stop him.
Exactly.
So then all of a sudden you find out that his mom's name is Martha, like your mom. Then all of a sudden you best fucking friends. Now y'all fucking besties. Now you like, oh shit, I'm gonna give you a shoulder massage and go save your mama.
Right.
And it's like, and he was using guns and killing people where he was gonna save his mama.
Prime example.
Like, when did he start killing people?
This is a prime example of one or two extra lines in a particular scene could have made the scene more satisfying. Because had he been like, okay, we're about to be friends, but I still don't fucking trust you.
Something like
but
that.
I'm not gonna let your mother die. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not about to let an innocent woman die.
Something.
We still got beef. But obviously, there's something else going on right now.
That's how the friendship
Just
really is.
2 or 3 more lines.
Right. They respect each other, but they don't trust each other. That's how their friendship is.
Exactly.
You know,
That's all. Batman was about to end this man's life.
Yeah.
And he just been like, listen, bro, I don't know what's happening. Okay, his mom is taking Lex Luthor. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I'm not gonna let her die. You got shit to take care of. But we got beef. When this is over, this is not over. That would have made That would have made a lot more sense, because Batman is hell bent on killing this dude.
No, I thought she was with you. They're besties. They're besties now.
What?
Like
How?
Yeah. Like
how? Man, come on, bro.
Let's go sit chill in the spot after all this is done and talk some shit. Like, 'cause that's why I feel like they might as well have a Starbucks coffee.
Let me be very clear. If anybody wanted this movie to work, it was us.
Yep.
Like it was us.
Yep.
And I feel like what a lot of people are doing right now when they go see the movie is they've heard so much negativity. They've lowered the expectations
so low to where they're looking for the good.
Right, they're looking for it to be good, when in all actuality, this is not actually a good movie. A lot of people saying, oh, you know, it sets up Justice. No, it actually does not.
It does not set up Justice.
It does not.
The only thing you get of the Justice League, that's the thing. Why is it called Dawn of Justice? And all you get is 5 to 10 seconds of every other Justice League character, and then that's it. That's it. You don't get nothing else. All you get a small dream sequence from Batman and Flash coming in, which
makes no sense.
It was a dream.
For all we know, that shit never really.
He's a sage. He's a sage psychic, and he got magical Batman powers that he can see dreams. Don't make no sense. So then at the end of the movie, you get like a quick email, like a few minute clip of like each character, like, oh, this is them. You got the spotting of, like, you know, Aquaman. All he does is this, and then he swims off. Like, what the fuck? Like, that was just out of the blue. You got the Flash stopping the little bad guy, and he going like, yeah, he's Asian Flash now. You know what I'm saying? Which I actually like Asian Flash with a little ponytail. It ain't that bad, but okay, fine.
Here's the thing, like, none of it. I feel like it was thrown in there last week.
Yeah, man.
Even the way that it was delivered to us, it wasn't even satisfying.
It was not. It was not.
It didn't make sense within the story that we were given. Okay, I want people to stop making excuses for the movie, because you want it. Like, we all really want this to be like super good. Stop making excuses for the movie.
If Wonder Woman can cut with her sword, the unstoppable freaking Doomsday, why don't she just cut his head off? She stayed at this man's ankles. She ain't moved nowhere from this man's ankles. She was just
cut
like
off his arm that one time.
And cut off. That's it. Like, and then it grew right. Like, okay, just cut his head off. I don't know. It's just like, it just felt like
it could have.
Bruh.
If you ask too many questions about the movie, you immediately run into this situation where it's like, okay, well, this could have ended.
I feel like they
this could have been better. This could have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, and let's talk like the ending. There was a lot of things in this movie that was unnecessary.
Why he didn't throw the spear? Why he?
That's that. Okay, that is the purpose of a spear. That is the actual, like, that is a weapon,
right?
Meant to be thrown. Like, that's like trying to stab somebody with an arrow.
Yes, it
like
is.
You shoot an arrow, you throw a spear.
Right.
That's not a. It's not a dagger. That's not a sword. Like, and I feel like that's how he was trying to use it.
You know, but
he could have killed Doomsday.
But you know what? They needed a reason for him to be able to be penetrated because he was so close to the kryptonite that he was able to be penetrated. Okay, I get it.
No, because he had already got shot with the kryptonite, so
he was already inhaling it. Yeah, so he already was.
Superman could have stood back and straight blasted that dude from 200 yards away and threw that bitch at light speed and completely obliterated Doomsday. But then again, that's bad storytelling because they needed a way to shoehorn in the death of Superman, which is the most unnecessary.
It was so unnecessary. And then here's the thing. You get blown up by a nuclear blast and you a skeleton man and then you get healed in 10 seconds by the sun.
Exactly.
And then you get stabbed in the heart, which ain't even nowhere near is being like freaking completely shriveled up like a raisin. You get stabbed in the heart. You can't heal from that from the sun. You can't heal from that. You sitting out in the sun, but all of a sudden you get buried in the ground. A box get put over you. Now the dirt start to rise like you starting to, like that was such an American ending. It was such an American ending. Like,
I mean,
they patronizing us. They making us think we stupid.
We have the unnecessary motion of it's like they're just throwing unnecessary shit at us for the sake of like the shock value of what we're seeing on the scene. And don't get me started on the whole death burial for both Clark Kent and Superman. Yeah. Okay, a lot of people are saying that was a ballsy move. A lot of people are saying, oh, that's such a ballsy move that, they were going to kill off Superman. Right. And for a second, I thought that they were really going to do it. First of all, ain't no fucking way in hell. Listen to what you're saying. There's no there's no Justice League without Superman.
Exactly.
Period. Point blank. Okay, so stop trying to, they're trying to be something different. No. That's like trying to do the Avengers and there's no Hulk, or there's no Iron Man, or there's no motherfucking Nick Fury. Like, come on, those are key components, none being more important than Batman and Superman. Okay, so let's stop that whole thing. Now you want to talk about, I thought it was going to be ballsy and, it sets up the Justice League.
Right.
How? For the movie that we got, this movie was not good enough or smart enough or clever enough to write themselves out of the hole that they just got in.
And that's the thing.
Now you have to figure out a way to bring him back to life.
Right.
Then the second installment
you're not going to come back to life. He's just going to come back. He's just going to come back. That's
which doesn't make sense because Clark Kent is dead. Clark Kent is dead. Never mind Superman. Never mind Superman, but Clark Kent has a life.
They should have said Clark is missing. They didn't say they like
Clark Kent died. He didn't just go on something like they normally do in the cartoons for this very reason.
Right.
He's dead. There was a burial for him. There was a funeral. People saw him in a casket. so now, how do you address that?
Right.
How do you bring up the fact that people came and attended this man's funeral, and saw him get buried, lowered in a box, and now all of a sudden he's back to life.
Right.
How?
Right. You can't say,
and that's the main issue with this.
You know what?
Not that Superman couldn't die or they couldn't go for this later on in the future, but for where they are right now, these movies are not strong enough on their own to stand on their own to have done the shit that they just did.
Okay.
And it's gonna be super duper plot no jitsu. Bad writing.
Bruh, so
bad
much,
writing.
It's gonna be so much
to get him out of
It's gonna be so much.
And that's my biggest issue with it.
This is all I have to say about it. Like, I actually do because I tell this to people anytime they complain about these type of movies. And even though I'm complaining now, this is the most I've ever complained about a movie, by the way. But I always tell people I really do appreciate them making this movie. I appreciate them doing this for the fans because we love this kind of stuff, and I appreciate them making this movie and because the cinematography was great, the acting was great, the setup was great, everything about the movie was great. But they just did I'm sorry, this is like they just did a bad job editing. They gave us too much. They gave us too much of what they thought we would geek out about, and people were geeking out about it, but they didn't give us a quality good like well followed story. They just did not do it.
This is not a movie that stands on its own.
It does not stand on its own. Instead, you have to know comics. You have to know characters. You have to read the Frank Miller Batman Returns. You have to you have to know so much about. You have to know about Injustice, the comic. You have to know so much about this for this to actually go like ooh ah. Because if you know nothing about that, it's kind of like it just feels
you will be even more lost than we are, and we know this.
We know this shit.
We know this shit, and we're watching it.
So you know what? All I gotta say is I still give the movie a less rating than I gave it before. I give it like I give it a 10 for quality as far as the setting, the mood, the tone of it. Everything was good. The cinematography, the acting. I get a 10 out of 10 out of all this stuff. But when it comes to actual editing and storytelling, this I blame on the actual editor and whoever directed. Well, what's his name? Zack Snyder. I'm sorry, I love Zack Snyder, but he did a horrible job with this. I just can't give him a pass with this movie. So it's like just the way you set it up is just bad. So I give it like a 4.5 to 5 when it comes to like editing and pacing. And this is the first time I've ever gave two reviews. I mean two ratings on a movie because you could tell it was a good movie. He just set it out horribly. That's all I got to say about it.
My overall thoughts on this film is the fact that my biggest issue with Batman v Superman and now in context Man of Steel.
Yep.
It's the fact that for what this was supposed to be,
right,
was DC's foray, their big hoorah, their grand entrance into their cinematic universe. To rival, not just be some shit that was made. This is supposed to be the counterbalance to Marvel's dominance.
Yeah.
So that we as the fans benefit from these two juggernauts.
I mean, they sold like crazy.
Badass movies.
It's selling like crazy.
No, I mean, we all knew it was going to sell. This has been 70, 80 years in the making for them to be on the same screen. So it's so many, 5, 6 generations of people, waiting to see this. But what my issue is, this was made to rival the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I feel like DC has fucked themselves and so royally that they don't even realize it because now they had this was the home run. This was the only guaranteed home run that they had going. But Superman and Batman being in the same movie. Any other movie that follows is really, truly going to have to be a good movie.
Here's the thing, though.
The Avengers was actually, it was going to be a home run. So they had to do the bare minimum to make it a good movie. Give us, the little setups and the little quarrels between the characters. Give us some action. The storyline doesn't even really make sense when you really break down the first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
But because of what it was going to make money. Yeah. They just had to do the minimum to raise overall morale and perception of the film. DC did not do that, and I feel like they have permanently set themselves. I don't see. Here's the thing. Permanently set the bar too low.
I think that and this sounds weird because it's very rare that I can say this about a movie. Even though this movie was really bad as far as the setup and the editing and stuff, they did something. I don't know what it is, but they did something to make me really want to see the next Wonder Woman movie. Like I can't wait to see that. She did a great job. I really want to see the Aquaman movie when that. I want to see these characters. Like there's something about this movie that made me really interested for the movies coming forward.
I'm gonna tell you,
even though it was a bad movie.
In my opinion, because I want to see those movies too. So when I think about why I want to see them, it doesn't have anything to do with DC and what they did in this movie.
That's kind of true.
It's because of what Marvel's done and how it tends to tie in with their universe. So I'm naturally gonna be curious. I'm a DC fan, period, first and foremost. As was most of us. Okay, let's cut the shit. Before all these Marvel movies came out, these were all B type of characters.
Yeah.
They weren't the heavy hitters. They had X-Men, and a few other major, stars, but people are Marvel fans because of what they've done in the movies.
Yeah.
That's what makes me curious to go watch the rest of the Justice League films because I want to see how they're going to do it. I want to see how they're going to tie all of these movies together. It's the birth of another cinematic universe, which far outweighs, outranks everything that we saw from Marvel because these are the most iconic characters. Period.
You know what?
Like period on the board. So that's why we're all so curious. That's why we want to go see Wonder Woman. I mean, they did a good job.
They did a good job. Wonder Woman did good.
But the fact that she has a movie coming out, had she did a bad job,
And that's why she was in the
People
movie.
still would go
That's
see
why
the
she was in the movie, because she actually did not need to be in this movie. But
Right.
I realize now with the new
people
like
would still go see the movie
Yeah.
if she was in this movie or not.
But-
Go see the Wonder Woman.
But
film.
I ain't gonna lie, her being in here and seeing how awesome she was when she was fighting Doomsday really makes me want to go see the movie. And then they already show like these they had like not a trailer but like a screenshot of her standing next to the other Amazonians. Did you see that? Did you see that one recently? So when I saw that I was like, yep, I gotta go see the movie. And only because she to me was one of the most badass moments in the movie. Is I felt like the Hulk dropped down and did some gangster shit. She dropped down and did gangster shit and like she won me. But she still had the movie itself.
Did not need her.
Yeah, did not need her. So,
but see, that's what I'm trying to say is this film had one job. Ultimately, this film had one job: give us Batman and Superman. We didn't have to have Doomsday. We didn't have to have Wonder Woman. We didn't even have to have all those nods to the Justice League.
It could have just been them two.
It could have been cool. Could have been cool. But everybody would have been happy had it just been focused on them.
Yep.
Not saying, I'm not trying to say that.
And like at least give us like the very last 30 minutes, like the Justice League coming together, like something happened with
them trying to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do?
Have Flash actually coming back in time. If Flash actually really came back in time and said, "Find me and do this," and said like something,
it would have made more sense for Flash to find Superman and not Batman. For Superman to get the knowledge that Lex Luthor got. Okay. Last thing. Why in the actual fuck would Superman leave the ship in the middle of the city for 18 months after the battle with Zod? Why would he leave alien technology in the hands of humans? In the hands of humans that always trying to reverse engineer some shit.
Always does it.
This entire movie, the entire everything is the fault of Superman being a complete dumbass. He could have easily lifted the damn ship, took that bitch back to the North Pole where no one would have found it.
Right.
And that could have been his. I guess he living with Lois. That's the Fortress of Solitude. I guess they got a place together. They couldn't even fully establish Superman. That just made no sense. That was the basis of the whole movie.
We're done.
That was just fucking stupid.
Look,
I meant to bring that point up earlier.
It is. Look, comment down below. We don't like the shit. And
comment, subscribe, let us know.
Let us know.
But at the end of the day, stop making excuses for this movie. Stop making excuses.
Stop being little bitches.
Stop trying to talk yourself into thinking that this shit was better than what it was.
Yep.
And because
they're gonna keep making whack shit. If you keep going,
exactly. If we keep trying to justify and find little ways around shit based on the movie we got. From what we saw on screen, stop trying to piece this, all this other extra shit together to make it make sense.
Cut that shit.
Stop. Let your voice be heard because Justice League is coming out next year.
Yep.
And we might get another movie just like this. It's coming from the same exact person.
Yep.
So now we've got Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel. I wanted them to fix those issues, and we got even more issues of Batman v Superman.
Look,
we have all these characters about to be on screen. All of these different. They had two characters.
Listen.
This is gonna be an issue.
Listen.
Rant.
Just comment
Let
down.
people know.
Comment down below. Holla at y'all later. Champion talk out.
Let motherfuckers know you don't like that shit.
Stop being so damn mad, man.
I can't, man.
We out, man.